What's up, everyone? It's your boy Danny Vega, aka Danny V, and I called it, son. Oh man, I called it. Oh, I'm telling you, I love when I'm right. If you watched my last video, it was titled WandaVision is House of M confirmed. And now after this episode, episode 4, it gave us a definite reason to believe that yes, this is Disney's version of House of M, and we're gonna talk about it in this video. And before we get started, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that little bell button for more future videos. But before we do that, don't forget my sponsor, DJ Venom. That's right, make sure to go to his SoundCloud, DJ Venom, and make sure to go to his Twitch, DJ_Venom, for all your gameplay needs. Also check out Sweets by Award. That's right, Sweets by Award. They're a fantastic sweets company that makes all types of delicious treats. Don't wait to the last minute to give your loved ones some sweets. Make sure to use my discount code DannyV to get 15% off your next order. So, WandaVision, episode 4. Alright, so this to me should have been episode 2 or 3. Ew, I don't know why we waited till episode 4. Disney, if you are listening and you are watching this video, I'm not really a show fan for these reasons, okay? The reason why I'm not a show fan and a lot of people are not a show fan is because shows sometimes take way too long to get to the point. See, I'm a huge anime fan, and I usually don't give a show a chance if I'm not hooked in the first 2 episodes. I'm old school anime. In the first 2 episodes back in the day, they used to hook you and then you're set to go off to the races. Now it takes like 100 episodes to do that. Yeah, I'm looking at you, One Piece. Had me hooked at episode 4, I was gonna quit after episode 2, and if it wasn't for my friend, I would have gave up. And that's how I feel a lot of people are with WandaVision. My girlfriend loves Marvel, loves everything else, and she was like, I don't understand what's going on in WandaVision. This sucks. I was like, babe, because I know my comic book stuff, just wait it out, wait it out. And at episode 4, it's like, oh, okay, that shouldn't happen. For your normal everyday goer, you need to catch them. See, for comic book people like us, we're like, oh shoot, I think I know where this is going. We're following the breadcrumbs, you know? We're getting fat like Hansel and Gretel, or just like me. But seriously, for everyday goers, you gotta hook them in. So this should have easily been either the 2nd or 3rd episode. 4th one was way too long. But I love that they showed, like, all right, it's a few weeks after the snap, this is where WandaVision goes. So Monica Rambeau, she obviously disappeared in the snap, and then come to find out her mother didn't disappear, and she ended up dying while she was gone. And she comes back and she's like, where's my mom? And you know, everything was perfect before I left, and all of a sudden she finds out she's dead. That's a gruesome way to find out. If I'm not mistaken, 3 weeks later they showed, oh, she's right back to S.W.O.R.D. And her mom was the one that built S.W.O.R.D. So it wasn't Nick Fury like some of us speculated, but her mom built it from the ground up. And they were already talking about, oh, well, you know, in space there are a lot of threats. Obviously, you know, when they were talking about the Skrull, even though the Skrulls are good guys now, she stated, well, so our allies, she was talking about Captain Marvel and now the Skrulls in the MCU, but not in the comic books. Like I said, the MCU likes to change a lot of stuff up, which is going to bring me to a lot of points later. So we see in this episode that Monica Rambeau comes because no one knows about Westview, the town. Like, everyone has amnesia of, like, Westview doesn't exist. Like, the cops were like, no, it doesn't exist, even though there's a sign right behind them, like they can't see it. And then on top of that, they're like, what town you're from? They're like, Eastview. I mean, Eastview, Westview makes sense. There's a sign to go off on the highway for Westview. I mean, come on. Excuse me for my hair. It's all over the place. Looking like the emo Spider-Man, just, yeah. Even that was cringeworthy. But yeah, so we see Agent Woo there, and he's like, don't you feel it? Like, the town doesn't want me to go in there. Like, he didn't even touch the field. And then Monica, she touches it and she gets sucked in. And which is awesome because, so on New Rockstars, they mentioned that does the power mark you, and it does. So congrats on that. That was fantastic for you guys that called it. You saw that, you know, no one deliberately is gonna wear a shield outfit, but her powers are like, nope. They're stamping the people and the planes and everything else that's going in there. Well, drones, excuse me. Her powers marking outsiders basically for coming in. And this is why I said it from the get-go. This is House of M. So again, like, so we see that it wasn't a beekeeper suit. And I said it in my last video. called it. He goes through the sewers to get through there, and what it did was it turned him into a beekeeper and it marked him with sword on his back. That is fantastic. I'm glad I'm right about that. And I'm glad that I said it's like a force field. I'm glad about that one too. Obviously her powers are doing it, and then you see, and the one thing that I absolutely love, and I also love that they brought what's her breath back from Thor. I forgot her name. I'm not gonna lie. I should go check that. I just looked it up. Darcy Lewis. Darcy Lewis is back, and which is a great callback. I'm sorry about the hair, guys. Seriously, this is bad. Damn it! Darcy Lewis is back, and it's fantastic what a callback. They're trying to connect all these things. But yeah, she's the one that searches up the waves and the radiation, and she's like, oh, it's this and this, and then pulls up the sitcom. And then, like I said, you find out different perspectives, which could have easily happened in episode 3, about like when they try to contact Wanda, etc., etc. But what's so cool is that the version that we're watching, even though we got certain cuts, she's like, someone's censoring it and they're cutting out the show, which I'm pretty sure is Wanda, or it still could be Agnes, because there's a little bit of the little teaser trailer of episode 5 that came out that we're going to talk about with some hints, and we're going to come up with some new theories as well. And on top of that, the Loki trailer dropped, so let's go into it of how this is all connecting. So yes, this is Disney's version of House of M, or leading up to the version of House of M, and I'm going to tell you how it goes. So when Monica Rambeau, when she finally figured out that who she is, she's like, you mentioned Ultron, and she's like, you're not my she's like, no, I'm just your neighbor. She's like, you're not my neighbor and you're not my friend. And what she did was she threw her out with the powers, but before she did, she said, you're trespassing here and not welcome. What? That's exactly in the House of M. She created that reality to get away. And then on top of that, like I called in my last video, and Vision is not alive. Obviously, Vision is an illusion. Vision is not alive, like I said. So what happened is that you see him come in, and when she looks, he's dead, and she's like, shit, and turned away, and then made him normal again. I'm telling you, again, let me reiterate, House of M in the comic book series, what she did was she created a reality to get away from the trauma, to have the family that she wanted, and that everybody gets what they want. And boom, there we go. This is definitely House of M-esque. It's Disney's version, and I'm loving every second of it because it's one of my favorite stories. But Disney, don't fuck this up, okay? With the little teaser preview of episode 5, this can make Vision come back to life, because what happens is that you see him press against the reality. He's doing the whole Truman Show that everyone said before, but it's Truman Show for Vision. It's not Truman Show for Wanda. Vision is the Jim Carrey of the thing, because he's like, what's happening? And he suspects something else is going on, which, like I said, is more of, he's the logical being. So you see him push against the field, and he pops out into normal reality. So not only is she creating her own reality, things can come out of it and become real. That's nuts. And then not only that, you see that he can use the power of the Mind Stone. Like, everything's frozen. He unfreezes Agatha, which I still think that she's still like a part of it somehow. I have no idea. Either, again, she made a deal with Mephisto, or Agatha, something's happening. And the reason why I say something's happening is because in the little teaser trailer, you see her in this like trance, and then when she wakes up, she has like a white cloak over her. I don't know if that is a call to Cloak and Dagger, or which is, when they wear certain hoods and stuff like that, is that something that Agatha did? But it really made the sound like Cerebro though, which is crazy. So I'm telling you right now, the big secret that I think is, I don't think WandaVision's from the main MCU. It could be, but I'm not too sure. And the reason why I say that is because I think the secret person that Paul Bettany wanted to work with is none other than Sir Patrick Stewart of the X-Men. There have been little hints that the X-Men are going to come, and I feel like this is a different universe. And the reason why I feel like this is a different universe is because in Loki, in that universe is where Loki escapes. Loki escapes, and that's what the whole show is about, is that in that universe, Loki is doing all this jazz. I believe that WandaVision is this universe doing whatever it's doing here. What what's going to happen is that somehow these are either alternate universes that are going to lead to the multiverse of madness, and that's why Doctor Strange has to fix everything, and it makes it one timeline like DC's Crisis of Infinite Earths. That's right, we're going to have our own Crisis of Infinite Earths, how it's going to make one timeline for Marvel's next phase. So the next phase of Marvel is how we're going to get X-Men and all these jazz from different universes, from Fox and Sony, all that jazz. And what they're going to do is the multiverse of madness is going to connect in one timeline, and that's what's going to happen. And now we're going to have X-Men, we're going to have Fantastic Four, we're going to have everything in one timeline, and that's how they're going to do it. I see through you, Disney, and because I'm a creator too, and I love these stories, and I see it. You ain't trick no one. You should hire me. That's right. But still, I really do believe that's how it's going to happen. It makes total sense that how this is all going to connect in different multiple universes into one timeline to have everybody together. That's why the same thing with Spider-Man, you're going to have the 3 Spider-Man, which is fine, because what happened in the comics when they did that is how Old Man Logan and how Miles Morales came into Earth 616 and they stayed there permanently while the Ultimate Universe got destroyed. That's what I think is going to happen. All these other universes are going to get destroyed, just like how we did it in the comic books. And when I mean in the comic books, I mean like how we erase like the Ultimate Universe, etc., etc. And that's how it's in one timeline. And that's what it's leading up to. So I believe that Sir Patrick Stewart is going to be in this, and that's what's going to happen. It's going to be how Professor X, to the gifted child, is going to try to help her control her powers. And this is definitely House of M, and everything's going to go into a shit show. So either Agatha or Agnes, who is Agatha, because I don't know. Sometimes, like I said, the MCU changes a lot of things up. I gave examples in my last video. I really do think that it's too easy. Like, she has the witch hat and all the jazz. It's either too easy that she is really Agatha, or I feel like it is Mephisto, but still something, I feel like that's just way too easy. I feel like the big twist, the big actor that Paul Bettany always wanted to work with is definitely Sir Patrick Stewart. But listen, I'm still like, about it. I still think, hear me out, if it's not Sir Patrick Stewart, it's definitely Sir Ian McKellen, okay? And this is what I mean. We all know how Magneto hates humans. What if he found her, and he knows that's his daughter? Because again, we can always say psych and retcon it. You're not really altered in power. You're really born with the gift. Then he created that magnetic force field around to make sure no one messes with her. I am telling you, it's either Sir Patrick Stewart or Sir Ian McKellen. I could be wrong, but I'm calling it now. Mark this day, just in case I'm right, because then I'm gonna look like the greatest ever. Or I could be wrong and look like a total piece of shit, but you know, tomato, tomato. So those are my thoughts. I'm telling you right now, I've laid out the whole plan for you. I'm gonna do a little review on Loki too as well. But you know what to do. If you like this video, like, subscribe, hit that little bell button for more future videos. I love ya. Stay safe. Talk to you soon.